What's up, friends? On today's video, we're going to start one of a few Dirty Dozen races. So if you're like me and you collect cars, or race cars for that matter, you're going to end up with a bunch of loose cars left over that really don't fit in any kind of a certain theme or anything like that. And that's what we've got here. I've got quite a few of the Plano storage boxes full of loose cars. And these are just a few of them. Not all of them, but just a few. And you're probably wondering why I'm calling this a Dirty Dozen race. Well, we're going to race 12 cars off in this particular video, and they've all been dusted and they're ready to go down the track. The only common denominator that these cars really have are the fact that they're separated into their appropriate weight categories. So all of these cars fit within the 41 to 50 gram weight class. Again, they've all been dusted up. I'm going to give them about 3 or 4 laps down the track to break in the graphite. We'll then do a quick race to determine who is the fastest out of these 12. And then we'll take the winner of that particular race and put him up against, in this case, it's going to be the Porsche down here. He is our gatekeeper into the 41 to 50 gram weight class. If I see more than one car that has promise, of course, we'll stick them up against the ranks also. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. I have purchased these cars either loose on eBay or part of a lot of cars on eBay that were purchased, or 5-packs or multi-packs, or I don't know where they all came from. I'll do my best to let you know where they did come from if I can remember, but we'll take a quick look at them first, weigh them up, and then get them going down the track. Case number 1 is what we got to work with. First car, Ferrari Testarossa. You guys have watched this channel, you know that I like these castings very much with the ultra hot wheels, metal on metal. This one weighing in at 45.4 grams. Next up, I believe this is a 68 Mustang. Could be a 67, I don't recall. Doesn't say on the base. I could look it up. Just let me know down in the comments below which one this is. It does have metal body, metal base with an opening hood. Looking pretty cool. I don't recall where I got that car from. He's weighing in at 49.1 grams. Next one up is the 56 Flash Cider. This one in a metallic black. Looking pretty nice. Got the 5-dot wheels. Of course, it has plastic base. Calling it a 56 Chevy. He's in the wrong class. Okay, swapping him out with a different 56 Flash Cider. This one all metallic purple. Nothing really special going on here. 5-spoke wheels. And he does fit in this category at 49.1 grams. Next up, Fiat 500C. And this is one of the earlier ones. Metal body with a metal base. So he does indeed fit into this category. The newer ones are a lot lighter. Still, it does have quite a bit of plastic, but at least he does have some mass. 42.5 grams. Next up, Jeep Liberty. This one from Matchbox. It's got the flower wheels and metal body with a plastic base. I've heard some good things about these. He weighs in at 42.2 grams. Next up, Pro Racing Hot Wheels Grand Prix. Number 44 car, and this one with the thinner body style, so it's not as heavy as the other ones. But they still have a lot of promise because they do come with really good wheels and axles, nickel axles. So we'll give them a shot. 42.1 grams. Corgi Whiz Wheels. Now most of these cars are pretty mint. This one has had a little bit of paint wear at least. This is all metal construction with the hood flipping up in the front. Saw this one first on Northern Roads Racing. So this one made in Great Britain, metal on metal. We will give him a shot, weighing in at 47.4 grams. Next up, Ultra Hot Speed Seeker. Metal on metal car, Ultra Hot's wheels. Does have this little, the eyelids open and close. Haven't had a whole lot of luck with this casting in the past. 42.3 grams. Next up, the 50th anniversary 68 Cougar. You guys have probably seen this car on other channels before. Metal on metal, opening hood. It does have the throwback red line wheels on it. Still could have some promise on the drag strip. 46.3 grams. Gold Hot Ones Murata Stalker. We've got one of these. Yes, we do have one of these in the ranks already. Always looking for another fast Murata Stalker. Metal on metal, of course. Red colorway. And he should be at the upper spectrum of this weight class. 50.5 grams. Anything 51.0 and up goes into the next higher one. If it's 50.99, he goes in this weight class. 71 Datsun 510 wagon. And this is the main reason why I picked this weight category first. I wanted to see how this car does going down the track. Newly released in the Hot Wagons series, and I just recently picked this guy up. Really clean looking car. I like the way it looks. The wheels are a new style, so they have a little bit of promise that you might get some that are actually really, really round and true. Metal body, metal base. All the Hot Wagons have metal bases, but not all the Hot Wagons are fast. So 49.92 grams on this guy. And the last one in this batch is going to be the 97 Corvette, red with flames, PR5 wheels. These cars can be good. They've got a really good size, wheelbase and width to them. Metal body with a plastic base. Maybe we'll find some speed out of this guy. 41.4 grams. All right, that is all 12. We're gonna go ahead and give them some wake up laps, let them break in the graphite a little bit. Be right back, we'll start this race. All right, they've had about 3 or 4 laps to break in the graphite. We're gonna send them off pretty much the way I presented them to you previously. First up, Mustang versus Ferrari. And keep in mind, not all these cars are barnstormers, so as you can see right there by the Mustang. 2263 to a 2316. That was serious gappage. We're not gonna rerun that one. Ferrari moves on. Next up, the Fiat in lane 1 and the 56 Flash Sider in lane 2. And in all transparency, those little tabs right here for the axle protection, I actually had to grind those down a little bit because they were rubbing on this track right here. Put some pretty small front wheels on that truck, not big enough to clear those. So they've been clearanced, just an FYI. And go. Boy, these are quiet. 2266 to 2289, not quite gappage. Let's re-rack them. Lanes are swapped, 2266 the time to beat. And the Fiat, 72 to an 86. Pretty close. The Fiat with some extremely wide rear tires, not always the formula for drag racing, but the 56 Flash Sider with the minor tweakage is moving on. Next pairing, Grand Prix in lane 1 and the Jeep Liberty in lane 2. Here we go. That was actually a pretty close race. 2269 to a 2275. Lanes are swapped. 2269 is going to be the time to beat. It's not going to do it. 2264 to a 2276. Not a bad race, but Pro Racing taking that one. He's moving on. Next up the blocks, Speed Seeker in lane 1 and the Jaguar in lane 2. And go. Speed Seeker is pretty darn fast. 2255 to a 2284. That was gappage, one and done. Next up we got the Cougar in lane 1 and the Murata in lane 2. If you're familiar with the channel, you know that I like to keep everything pretty organic. A lot of these cars, wow, that was a good race. 54 to a 55, wow. Anyway, what I mean by that is I don't like running a lot of cars off camera. I could certainly do all this off camera and cars would absolutely get into the ranks and stuff like that, but you guys wouldn't see it. So let's go ahead and move on with this one, see if the Cougar can beat a 2254. 2254 the time to beat. Wow, those are exceptional. 2254 to a 55. We'll no doubt be seeing both of them again later on, but the Murata is gonna take this one by 1,000ths in both lanes. Last pairing up in the blocks right now, we've got the 510 wagon versus the Corvette. We had some pretty good look out of the Volvo in the Hot Wagon series. That was a pretty close race. 2295 to a 2302. Lanes are swapped. And as I was saying before, I was hoping the 510 would show us something kind of like the Volvo did. Anyway, 2295 is the time to beat. And he's a turd. 2281 to a 2296. Nevertheless, he will be going into the collection. It's a pretty good looking car. I'll give him that much at least. Round one done. Winners on the right, losers on the left. Moving right along, it's the Ferrari in lane 1 and the Flash Cider in lane 2. This should be a pretty good race. $22.67 to a $22.70. Looks like the Flash Cider had it all the way down the track. Ferrari's got a little bit longer legs though. Let's swap them up. They just swapped. $22.67 the time to beat. I think he's gonna get it. 68 to a 69. 2 wins by Ferrari. Moves him on to the next round. Next up, Speed Seeker in lane 1 and the Grand Prix in lane 2. And go. Grand Prix, wow. 22.59 to a 22.66. Later swap, 22.59, the time to beat. Speed Seeker, not gonna get it done, and the Grand Prix falling off a little bit. He had a faster first run pass, so he's gonna advance to the next round. Last pair in this round, Murata Stalker in lane 1 and the Corvette in lane 2. And go. 22.49 to a 22.80. That was gappage. So one and done victory by the Hot Wheels Murata. Yep, this is going pretty quick, right? It's exactly what we want to chew through some of these loose castings. Winners over there on the right-hand side. Murata getting the bye run. We're gonna face these two off against each other to see who faces him. Ferrari in lane 1, Speed Seeker in lane 2. Here we go. Speed Seeker, wow. 22.52 to 22.75. That may have been gappage on that first race, but I want to see that Ferrari run again. 22.52, the time to beat. He had kind of a cruddy run. A little bit better that time. 61 to a 67. Speed Seeker with the faster first pass. It's going to face him off against the Murata for the final. For the race final, we're going to see the Speed Seeker in lane 1 and the Murata in lane 2. And out. Looked like the Speed Seeker took it. 52 to 53. Speed Seeker passing him on the big end. Laser swap. Murata needs to beat a 22.52 to take the win. Think he's going to get it. No. 22.57 to a 22.68. Speed Seeker taking the overall win with the fastest pass. So let's see how he does against the ranks. Current gatekeeper for the 41 to 50 gram weight class is the Matchbox Porsche 928. So it's the 928 in lane 1 and the Speed Seeker in lane 2. Let's see if he can get in there. 65 to a 70, not looking good. Laser swap, 22.65 the time to beat. There it is, 56 to a 71, he's getting in. All right, let's move up about 5 cars. Matchbox 62 Corvette. This guy was recently reworked and put back into the ranks. He's pretty quick. Vet in lane 1, Speed Seeker in lane 2. I think he's gonna get around him. 22.58 to a 22.67. See if the Vet can beat a 22.58 after a lane swap. He's quick out of the blocks. 61 to a 69, Speed Seeker is going to advance. 5 up from the vet is going to take us to the number 99 Thunderbird. I said this was going to be a quick video, right? He keeps going, 55 to a 65. Well, I guess if the video is long, that means we found speed. So suck it up, Buttercup, right? Let's try him again. 22:55, the time to beat. Speed Seeker getting it done again, 62 to a 66. Well, we could jump up 5 more and probably get the same result. Let's go ahead and go a couple rows over. This is the Modern Classics Camaro. See if the Speed Seeker can get this one done. Camaro lane 1, Speed Seeker lane 2. 54 to a 60. It's definitely tightening up. Lane swappage, Speed Seeker needs to be at a 22:54. Oh, he gets him. 22:51 to a 22:60. Wow, Speed Seeker in thinner air up here in the faster guys. Let's jump up to, let's put him up against Kenner Cam Rammer. See what happens here. Cam Rammer in lane 1. Speed Seeker gets spanked. 22:53 to a 22:64. Swapping lanes, 22:53, the time to beat. Close race, 54 to a 56, so he's not gonna get past the Kenner. Going down a notch is the Fast and Furious Plymouth GTX by Mattel. Do love that casting. He is looking good. Ready, steady. 57 to a 68. Lanes are swapped, 57, the time to beat. He is not gonna beat him. 22:50 to a 22:65. All right, so we back down a few more. Down 2 notches from the GTX is another Mattel Fast and Furious. This is the Ford GT, and you know who in lane 2. GT40, not Ford GT. Close race, 56 to a 57 with nod going to the GT40. Lane swappage, 22:56 is the time to beat. Is he gonna get it? He is, 55 to a 56. At least that GT is running pretty consistent. Well, that's gonna leave us with the gold flat out 442. 442 in lane number 1, Speed Seeker lane 2. If you guys saw my previous video, you saw that all of my ranks, wow. Okay, 45 to a 69. I don't think he's gonna get past him. But all of my ranks have been resorted, including the stack, which was actually pretty exciting because we saw a few cars make it back into the stack. But I know you probably think, well, that's out of place. Sometimes these cars against other cars in near lanes like this act differently with a little bit of wind. So I don't think he just all of a sudden became unlocked or he's in the wrong place. We continue on though. Lanes are swapped, 22:45, the time to beat. I don't think that Speed Seeker is gonna ever come close to that time. So 46 to a 61. I might have to see what's up with that guy, but that's where he's gonna stop. 442, back in his place. Speed Seeker is gonna go there. I'm gonna wait until all the rest of these cars run off before I resort everything. Next up is the Murata out of this lot, and we're gonna see these 4 compete for this weight category. They might make it in, they might not. I think he was slightly beaten by our Speed Seeker. Let's take a look at this Matchbox Thunderbird Turbo Coupe with laser wheels. You don't see these cars run very often. Turbo Coupe lane 1 and the Murata lane 2. And go. Turbo Coupe, 44 to a 50. Murata needs to beat a 22.44. Close race. 46 to a 46. Pretty good guess on the Murata placement, but he is not going to beat out the lovely Thunderbird. That's too bad. Thunderbird was there. Let's move down to this Grand Prix. See how he does against him. Bunch of stock cars in this weight category. And go. Oh yeah. 51 to a 61. Lanes are swapped. 51, the time to beat. Well, easy peasy. 53 to a 62. So, Red Murata has a date with the Camaro. Camaro lane 1, Murata lane 2. 50 to a 56. Lanes are swapped. 22.50, the time to beat. Murata, easy peasy. 22.51 to a 22.60. So, Camaro goes right there. Nice and gentle like. The Murata is gonna sit on top for now. A few more cars to run off. Well, let's move down a few to the Graffiti 09 F-150. And he'll be going up against the 68 Cougar 50th Anniversary Edition. See how close it is. Pretty close. 22.51 to a 57. 22.51, the time to beat. Cougar taking it. 54 to a 60. So we'll put him back. Let's try this guy one more time. Grand Prix in lane 1 and the Cougar in lane 2. And go. Oh, Cougar, big time. 53 to a 77. I don't think we need to see that again, do we? Let's see if the Murata can put up a defense. I don't think these guys ran against each other in the main race. Well, they're doing it now. Good one. 50 to a 52. Later swap, 22.50, the time to beat. Whew. 50 to a 53. So matching fast laps, and the Cougar was 1,000 slower on the second. So I'm gonna put the Murata above the Cougar in the ranks, which I'm not disappointed here at all. Let's go ahead and put this guy back, and we'll put the Cougar up against the Camaro. All right, Camaro lane 1, Cougar lane 2. When you do races like this, a dozen cars, you really don't expect to see many get in ranks. Wow, 50 to a 51, good race. But this particular case was pretty darn fast. I know I said this was going to be a short video because it was only 12 cars. Well, that's just how it goes sometimes. We're swapping them up. 22.50, the time to beat. Cougar, 52 to a 57. Wins them both. Okay, so the Cougar ended up being just right below the Murata. Camaro's gonna go right in there. Next up out of this lot, another Grand Prix. Not sure where we should go with him. Let's check out Storm. Storm was kicked out of the ranks, reworked the wheels on this gal, and she is solidly back in. Let's see how she does against this one. A lot of times these cars just sit and kind of wither away in the ranks. They eventually get shuffled out, which was the case for that car right there. As she got shuffled out, she got a rework just to see if you can make it back in. And yeah, she's back in. She's up against the Grand Prix. Let's see where the Grand Prix fits in. Faster than Storm, 61 to a 74. Swap them up just for the hell of it. Yeah, definitely faster than Storm. 62 to a 74. He's pretty consistent. Put Storm back. And let's shift over 1. I think that's skipping 12 every time you go up 1 row. Matchbox Nissan 300ZX. I found that the Starburst wheels and the laser wheels like the seamless track pretty good. He got a rework and jumped up quite a bit. He's up next. Of course, your mileage may vary. He is faster by 4 thousandths. When I say your mileage may vary, it depends a lot on the condition of the cars. I didn't even look at the time because I didn't think he was going to beat him. 62 to 65 is pretty close though. And also the track. Sometimes you get this seamless track and it's hard to get the humps out of it, but I have found that this indoor-outdoor carpet sticks to the hard side of Velcro. So if I've got somewhere that's sticking up a little bit, you might be able to see it right there. Got a white piece of hard Velcro underneath this section of track just to hold him down because he was maybe bumped up a little bit. You got to smooth all those pieces out as much as you can. It will definitely affect the times on the track. Let's put him back. Here's another one that made a pretty good jump. Matchbox Ferrari, also with the Starburst wheels. Ferrari in lane 1. 63 to a 68. Lanes are swapped, 22.63 the time to beat. 61 to a 66, so he beats him with the 63 being the fast time for the Ferrari. So he is going to actually move above him. Ferrari back in his place. Let's go to the 50th anniversary Zamac F-150. F-150 in lane 1. Tight race, 61 to a 64. Something in there still rolling. Laser swap 22.61, the time to beat. 68 to a 70. So Grand Prix had a faster pass in the first run. The only one left between the 300ZX and the 09 F-150 is Fairmont. And this is a Metal Flake Gold Hot Ones Fairmont. He's up next. Okay. 59 to a 72. Okay. All right, does the Fairmont have a 59 in him? 64 to a 65. So the Grand Prix is going to end up being just above that Fairmont. Moving right along to our Flash Cider. Where do you want to start first? Let's see. Let's pick on Creeper. Another one that was out of the ranks, dusted, and back in. Creeper in lane 1, the Flash Cider in lane 2. He's going to have to move down a little bit, 60 to a 68. One step down from Creeper, the number 30 Pro Racing Grand Prix. And go. He's going to beat him. 66 to a 71. Nice. Lane swappage, 22.66 the time to beat. And he's not going to get it. So when I say he's not going to get it, he didn't get it. Flash Cider did. So the Flash Cider, that was pretty quick, right? Looking up. And we're just going to have to remember where he goes. He's going to land right below Creeper, right above Benson right here. And the last car to deal with out of this bunch, the Ferrari. I don't know if the Ferrari's going to be... Let's see how he does against this guy, Ford GT. Ford GT LM to be exact, from the Speed Machine series, a gift from Scoop Dively at Poverty Hollow. We're going to see how he does against the Ferrari. Or see how the Ferrari does against him. That's pretty close. 67 to a 69. Lane swappage, 22.67, the time to beat. close, but he's not going to do it. 70 to a 73. So for GT back in his spot, let's jump down a few. F-Bomb Camaro, why not? F-Bomb Camaro, Fast and Furious by Mattel versus the Ferrari. Should be pretty good. Jeez, or not. 63 to an 80. I don't think we need to see that again. F-Bomb back in his spot. Let's put the Ferrari against Porsche 928. Gold Hot Ones 928 Porsche in lane 1. It's a lot of red, isn't it? Here we go. 51 to a 67. I don't think we need to see that again either. Well, my hopes are dwindling for the Ferrari. Let's see, we've got 3 cars in here. That craps out another 3. This is going to be the new Gatekeeper into this weight category. Number 10 Thunderbird. Pro Racing Thunderbird in the Tide livery in lane 1. If the Ferrari can't beat him, he's gonzo. Come on, man. Nope. 66 to an 85. Well, that's too bad for the Ferrari. Thunderbird's going to go back in his spot. Ferrari, I might go back and rework the wheels on this guy. This guy is retired. That guy is in need of a rework. And this guy also probably going to get a rework. But this guy, he had just been back into the case. I'm done fooling with him. Let me go ahead and get this resorted and we'll see what it looks like. All right, we are reshuffled. Speed Seeker making it in at the bottom of the first rung of the 41 to 50 gram weight class. Murata makes it in. The Cougar makes it in. That number 44 Grand Prix makes it in. And I did test him off camera against that Shadow Jet right there. And he is indeed faster than him. I don't know how I missed that one. And who else? Oh, yes, the 56 Flash Cider making it in. 5 cars in total out of that 12 make it in. I don't expect that we're going to see a lot of that. Could be, I don't know. Oh, here's another thing of note. I did rework my old Matchbox Peugeot Quasar with the laser wheels. And he was only about 4 ticks off of the Gatekeeper to the stack. He is my new number 1 in the 31 to 40. That happened between this video and the last one. So that is pretty impressive all in itself. Like I said, I was gonna try to keep these ones fairly short with only 12 cars, but with that many fast cars in the mix, it's gonna take a little bit of time. I might shave it down a little bit next time, or maybe next time we won't see some faster cars. Some of these down here are gonna get reworked. Some of them are gonna get retired. But anyway, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. We got a lot more of these to come as I start going through these loose cars. Appreciate you hanging out with me for a little while. Until next time, y'all stay healthy, have fun racing.